Great.
Hi, I am Nicole House, and I am tuning in today with Dr. Irina, and I am a level 3 certified practitioner with IFS, and also do a lot of group things, leadership with Susan McConnell and Somatic IFS. And I was receiving nuggets from Dr. Irina. But before we dive into that, let me take a minute to introduce you to Dr. Irina.
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Irina Diyankova, and I am a licensed psychologist in the United States, in the state of Tennessee, and I'm also certified IFS therapist, clinical consultant, and IFS trainer. I'm also a multiply neurodivergent individual and, survivor of complex trauma. Very excited to be here with you, Nicole.
Yeah. Well, we also get the pleasure, I get the pleasure of taking what I used to do with PR and marketing, and I get to share your offerings. And I was really excited yesterday when I received the nuggets of offerings that we are here to just unpack a little bit because there was so many, and I just had so much curiosity,
Mhm.
and I'm sure other people as well. The first one I wanted to mention was coming up in January, January 23rd and 24th. This is one we just made a more comprehensive video about IFS with complex trauma. Can you tell
Mhm.
us a little bit about that 2-day workshop coming up?
Yes, so I would like to highlight just kind of one aspect of this workshop that I think makes it unique, for right now. That, in this workshop, we will be following a client, a complex trauma client, that will be role played, by one of our PAs throughout, the long-term IFS for complex trauma therapy. And so we will get to see, like how the therapy starts and how we build container and how it unfolds and, how we address different challenges like polarizations that are so common in those systems and, blended protectors and, exiles that tend to flood complex trauma systems and kind of how we do it step by step. And then our practices will be centered around this as well. In the practice groups, PAs will be, role-playing complex trauma clients, and they will also be coaching, participants in those practices. So I'm very excited about that. I think it will give people much more, holistic and complex perspective on how to use IFS, throughout this long-term trauma therapy.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah, wonderful. And then shortly after that, there's another offering on February 4th and 5th, and that's the popular applying IFS with autistic and ADHD adult clients through a neurodiversity affirming lens. And
Mhm.
this is one of my favorites. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so, I also would like to highlight just kind of one aspect of this workshop, and this is, related to understanding the sensory system of the client and how it plays into psychological challenges and difficulties that autistic and ADHD adults deal with. And this is the element that is often missed, in mental health trainings because it's not necessarily, fully mental health related. However, a lot of the psychological concerns that autistic and ADHD adults experience really stem from, their sensory system not being understood and tended to. And so without really understanding it, we are like stuck, in this never-ending cycle of struggle with them. And so this workshop is, full of all kinds of different things, but this is a very important element that I would like to highlight. Oh, I can, you're muted, Nicole.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you. My dog was
yeah,
barking in the
yeah,
background. I had to
yeah.
Yeah, there's a wonderful support group that's starting right after. I know you do those in cycles. Can you tell
Mhm.
us a little bit more about that offering as well?
Yes, so I'm offering kind of ongoing group that is support group for IFS professionals, practitioners, and therapists who identify as neurodivergent. Um, and this group runs in cycles. So each cycle is 6 meetings, and the group closes for 6 meetings and then opens again for the next cycle, and to add new people if there are spots available, and then closes, and then this is how it goes, throughout the year. And in this group, we are using IFS model and IFS lens to really, tend to our systems and our parts that are, responding to both professional and personal life of a neurodivergent adult. And so we are addressing, topics that are important to people in the group. So it really depends on who's in the group and what is going on for them, and what is important to them in the moment. So just to give some examples, in the cycle that is will be ending soon, that is ongoing right now, uh, folks brought, things like, PDA and living with PDA, which is, persistent drive for autonomy. I like this abbreviation, being rather than pathological demand avoidance, it's persistent drive for autonomy. So we focused on that topic. We focused on burnout that is so common and ongoing for, neurodivergent adults. We also talked about like specific traits and features that make it challenging for neurodivergent folks to communicate with neurotypical folks. And this is just some examples, of the topic that people brought to the group that we focused on.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of burnout, there's a wonderful offering that we're really excited coming up in
Mhm.
May. But before we highlight that, I just
Mhm.
want to name that there's some other future dates for both of
Mhm.
those workshops
Mhm.
that we named. And the neurodiverse workshop, not just February 4th and
Mhm.
5th, will also be offered April 17th and 18th. And then
Mhm.
the IFS and complex trauma will be offered again in May. So if you
Mhm.
can't make the January 23rd and 24th, May 22nd and 23rd. So those will be ongoing, and we can
Mhm.
watch and keep up with your newsletter about those. But I just wanted to name those for us. And we have a really exciting offering that you'll be hearing a lot more about, but it's one of the first times we've actually talked about it, and that is one of the remedies for burnout in the retreat. We want to share more about that.
Sure. So this will be a retreat again for IFS practitioners and therapists who identify as neurodivergent. It will be held in the beginning of May, May 4th through 9th, and in the retreat center that is located near Valencia, Spain. And it's like on the shore, of Mediterranean Sea. And so in this retreat, we will really be focusing on, creating safe space for the participants to kind of unpack, the impact of being neurodivergent in the neurotypical world and having to function in this world and be professionals in this world. We will use all kinds of, IFS tools and supports to do that. We will do a lot of externalization in a variety of different ways, like drawing and, working with objects and sculpting, working with the body. So um, it's a wonderful way to really, get out of the regular daily grind and, be in also community with other neurodivergent people. So we will have retreat center to ourselves. So our group will be the only one there that week. And I'm very, very excited about, being there with all the neurodivergent colleagues.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited too. So many offerings, and thank you so much for taking the time to unpack those with me today. And we'll be doing that again because there's several coming up throughout the year. And just very excited to bring you out there and share these today.
Yeah, great. And I just want to welcome, everyone who would like to sign up for any of those offerings. And if you have any questions about any of them, you can contact Nicole, and her contact information will be in the comments to this video. So until we see you.